your fingers in various projects with serious commitment to 3 of them. How do you juggle and sustain them all, and do you worry about the pressure of carrying so much impacting your decision for sobriety and that lifestyle change?
Not really. Honestly, I just keep as busy as I can with positive things, and, before you know it, the day's done, and you've accomplished a lot, and that's what my goal is, I'm no angel. Like I said, I'm not the poster boy for sobriety. I'm never, sat here and then said it's forever or anything like that. It's just for me, it's at the time that I decided to do this, it had to be done, or it was going to get even darker, and that's not where I wanted it to go. It was either throw in the towel, say, screw it, and just, let it ruin my life, or say, no, this is not going to happen, So I've gotten so much more done in every aspect of my life, in a positive way, since I just call it a lifestyle change, basically. I'm not going to sit here and say I'll never have a beer, football game, or a baseball game or something, but, I'm enjoying, the way things are going without it, so.
Right. Well, and the new album, Sever the Wicked Hand, has been out for a little bit now, and it's a great album. If you read our review, you already know that I love it. When you sat down to write
it... Thank you.
When you sat down to write it, did you have a different mindset than when you sat down to do the last album?
I was in a different place mentally and physically, from the addiction side of things. I was pretty far into the booze and cocaine at the time that I wrote Life's Blood, and during the entire recording process of it. So obviously, not having that play a factor, was a big plus. I was able to do this thing with a clear head and record it, and everything with a completely sober, completely clear head, and I think that's the way, that it should be. For me, a lot of people are very, very productive and very creative when they're under the influence of stuff. I'm not one of them. I've always written all of my everything. I've always written everything without drinking. I don't want to say completely sober, whatever you want to call it. I've tried in the past writing while I'd be sitting at home, nothing to do, screwing around on a guitar, go get a case of beer, whatever it is, and drinking and trying to write and stuff, and I'll think I got something great, and then I wake up in the morning and shake off the cobwebs and listen to it, and I'm like, this is shit, So 20 years ago, I realized that I was a much better, much more productive writer, lyrics and songwriting, riff writing, doing it sober. So, that was easy to do, and that's once again proven me that I was right, by doing that. For me, that's the way it works better, Other people are different, a lot of people, it does, apparently expand their mind and help them creatively. But for me, I prefer, I've always done it, all my riffs I've written for Down, Crowbar, Game of Sorrow, all that stuff has been done, without the influence. Now, when it came time to, singing or playing gigs or whatever, that was another story, and that's really why my whole lifestyle decision, the lifestyle change, the decision for that is it just had gotten, really out of hand, what used to just be partying and having fun turned into, to being physically addicted to alcohol, and I just said, I'm not going out that way.
Right.
So, I was in a much better place, spiritually, just personally, in my own, in my own mind and in my own body, I was in a much better place during the writing and recording of this than I've been in a long time.
And you're unusual from a lot of guys in the scene that you're a morning person. Most people, morning for them is about 3:00 in the afternoon, but you like to get up in the morning, crack open the windows, get the sunshine coming through, and sit down with the guitar and write.
Yeah, and I've always kind of been that way. Even on tour, like I was saying, earlier on, when I've been, doped up on, not on any real dope, but on, these expectorants and using XDMs and ibuprofens and all this other crap, trying to get myself back to 100%, and so I've kind of been sleeping as much as possible and resting the voice with this illness I have. But on tour, it's, I still get up in the morning, I still get up at 9 or 10, which is pretty damn early for rock time. But I'll usually, take care of a few things and then maybe lay down and take a nap and then get it rolling. It's just, it just depends. I mean, the tour I'm on right now, when I'm at home, I'm always a morning person. If I'm not watching the early morning news, a lot of times I'm up before the sun even comes up. That's just how I am. If if I crash out at midnight and I get up, if it's past 6 o'clock and I'm awake, I'm just up for the day, Not just for me, it works, everybody works on a different clock, but for me, it's kind of been that way since I'm a kid, and I like to do my writing, and I like to get all my business, everything I got to get done, and for me, I'm the type of person where I suffer from anxiety a lot, let's say. So if I'm laying in bed trying to fall back asleep and look at the clock and it's like 6:30 in the morning, all I can think of is, okay, I know I've got a bunch of business emails going on. I've got to go to the bank. I've got to do this. I've got to go to the gym. I got to do, it's like, screw it, I'm up. I can't rest. I got to take care of the stuff,
Shut the brain off. I know the feeling.
Yeah.
You spent much of the last half of the last decade, as you said, working on the Down stuff. Will we ever see Down 4?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been gigging. We did 4 gigs right before I did the Crowbar thing. We got 5 more coming up at the end of April, and I think 3 or 4 more in the middle of May. So it's coming. We got not a whole, but we got a good, I think, 2-week run over the summer over in Europe doing festivals and whatnot. So, it's coming. It's just Down works at its own pace, but we have the materials there, and we are, out touring, jamming, and, and the whole 9 yards.
Well, before we get out of here, let's talk a little bit about your third project. What made you connect with Jamie Josta to form Kingdom of Sorrow to begin with?
We had met a long, long time ago, and I mean, it's, pretty well documented. He was like a big Crowbar fan, and everyone that knows Jamie knows, he used to be a promoter up in the New England area, the Connecticut and that area. And he had promoted Crowbar years ago. Basically, I think it was Crowbar Napalm Death or something, and he had promoted a show of ours just to put his band on the bill, even though he knew he was going to lose money. He wanted to play with Crowbar, so... And we, I kind of knew him on and off. We kind of kept in touch a little bit, but when Life's Blood for the Downtrodden came out, we had started talking a lot more often, and he offered us to open a slot on the Hatebreed UK tour in early 2005, and I said, sure, dude, we'd love to do it, So we did the tour. It went great. Everybody got along great. Me and Jamie really, connected really good as friends, and He was still drinking at the time, so we were raging, as we call it, every day, just raging every night, just getting shit-faced, and we got to talking about doing a project together, and I was like, yeah, I'm all about it, so obviously, we're like, keep in touch. Well, you always do that with friends in other bands,
Right.
It's like a real normal thing to get drunk with the guys, but, you respect them, they respect you, you're friends. You want to do something, you always talk about working together, and 9 out of 10 times it never comes to fruition. But Jamie called me out of the blue, and we started kind of talking about it. And one day he called, I think about the end of April of 2005. He's like, are you free for the next few weeks? I'm like, yeah. He's like, can you come up here? I'm like, absolutely. So he's like, oh, I'll book your flight. Let's get this thing rolling. And that kind of as we got the ball rolling for Kingdom.
Nice, and the new album came out last year, one of my favorite albums of the year. And
awesome.
Last year, Jamie got to go out on the road on the Mayhem tour. This year, you're going to be out there with him with Kingdom of Sorrow.
Yeah, totally, man. I'm looking really forward to it. It's, it should be fun. It's going to be a lot of work. A lot of, we kind of feel like with the record, we feel like there's still a lot of life in it because it came out. It really didn't. We really didn't tour. I didn't tour, but they did a few shows. Kenny Hickey filled in for me, while I was trying to get my head and my life together. And there really hadn't been any touring since then. It was only a handful of shows that were even done for the record, but it still did well. And so we feel like, hey, man, this is a perfect opportunity for us to relaunch this record. A lot of the diehards ran out and bought it, but it's been, it's coming up on a year. Like, by the time the tour starts, it'll be over a year since the release of the record. And now we're going on this huge Mayhem, Fest tour. This is a perfect opportunity for us to promote this thing like it probably should have been promoted, in the first place. It's just with him and Hatebreed and me with Down and now, Crowbar as well. it's tough. But I mean, we both penciled this in as a confirmation on doing this thing, man. We, back in like December of 2010, we said, we've been offered this thing. Let's make this happen. We've got to do this. We really believe in the band, and we want it to be more of a band. And we think the tour is obviously a perfect vehicle for us to kind of relaunch the record and really just this will be the first real proper tour that we've ever done. They did a tour back with War in 2008, but I was in Japan, Australia, and then down supporting Metallica in the States, and Kenny filled in, and it was whatever. This time we wanted to be me and Jamie, and for the entire tour, for the first time ever, really, because it's really, that was our vision in the beginning. So, I'm really looking forward to it.
Now, you guys had to pull out of Ozfest. That's not going to happen with Mayhem, right?
No, indeed.
Excellent. And just a couple quick ones before we get out of here. This one's just personal. One of my favorite authors is James Lee Burke. He's from your neck of the woods. Do you read him, or much a reader at all? Or?
Not much, to be honest. And don't ask me why, because, reading, that was actually what I excelled, like English lit and spelling and all. That was my straight A thing, advanced course thing in school. But I'm more of a magazine or autobiography guy. Like, all the books I own are basically autobiographies of musicians or actors or athletes or whatever. I'm more into that than like in fictional stuff. And but I do read often. It's just I'm not so much the novel kind of guy.
Gotcha. Well, and see, that actually then leads me to my last question anyway. If you had a chance to sit down with somebody for one evening, spend the night with them, have a meal, talk about whatever, past, present, living, or dead, who would it be?
Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy.
Oh, great choice there. So can't go wrong with that one at all.
Absolutely.
Kurt, I want to thank you for taking the time, and like I said, I hope we get a chance to sit down and do this in person.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. I really appreciate it.
Do you have any last words for the fans?
Yeah, just, big thanks to everybody who's, supports all the stuff I do. I really appreciate it. And, new Crowbar's out there, new Downs on the way, a lot of Down shows coming up. And, obviously Kingdom on the Mayhem Fest, all summer, or, July and August anyway.
Right.
So, just thanks for the support, and, hope to keep doing this, for forever. As long as they want it, I'll keep doing it.
Awesome. Kirk, horns up from Metalholic. We'll look forward to seeing you out on tour. The new album is awesome. Thanks for keeping metal going, and we'll see you soon.
You got it, man. Thanks, bro.